Many people hate you when you level up. You have to understand, y'all, is that we live in a society nowadays, right? To where a lot of people, they have a crabs in their bucket mentality. If you over there, if you succeeding, if you blessed, if you prosperous, if God blessed you with a nice house, a nice car, if God blessed you through a great job, if God allowed you to have a nice business, a lot of people, they will hate that. They'll hate the fact that you bless. They'll hate the fact that you are going higher and higher and higher and higher in life, right? You got a lot of people that's going to be jealous of you. A lot of people that's going to be envious because you're succeeding, because you going to the top, because you're not stuck at the bottom. Because you have to understand, y'all, is that we live in a society to where a lot of people, they want you on their level. They don't want to see you getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. They want you stuck at level 1. They don't want to see you going from level 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6. A lot of people, they want you to stay stuck at level 1. They want you to stay stuck, not succeeding. They want you to stay stuck, being at the bottom. And that's just a reality, y'all. That's just a reality that we have to face as people, right? Understand this, y'all. If you want to be blessed, if you want to be successful in life, you're going to have a lot of people that's going to do that to you. You're going to have a lot of people that's going to be envious. A lot of people that's going to be jealous. A lot of people that's not going to want you to succeed to the next level. Especially, this mentality is especially very prevalent, especially in the poorer communities around the world, right? For y'all who grow up in a not so desirable neighborhood, a lot of people, they like to call it the hood. They like to call it the ghetto. You probably experience this for yourself. Somebody try to make it out. Somebody got dreams, goals, and ambitions. Somebody starts getting blessed. You don't even have to have your blessings yet. The fact that some of y'all even have goals and ambitions to make it out will sometimes cause jealousy, will cause envy, will cause people to not like you. For a lot of y'all who grew up in the ghetto or the hood, you probably experienced this. You probably seen this happen to other people. Somebody try to make it out. Somebody want to be something in life. They don't want to be stuck in the projects where shootings are happening. They don't want to be stuck in a neighborhood where robberies are happening, home invasions are common. They want to go to a safer community. They want to go for a better life for them and their family or their future family. But then, what will happen? Sometimes you got people to where they'll try to set that person up. That's one of the main reasons why we see so many entertainers and rappers all the time that unfortunately pass away. Sometimes it be their own friends that set them up, their own so-called gang that set them up, their own fan members, because they don't want to see them succeeding. They want to see them stuck in the ghetto like them. They want to see them stuck in poverty. They want them to keep dodging bullets on their way to work, on their way to go outside. They don't want to see them go to a safe community where it's safe for them and their family and future family. And a lot of people are like that, yo. They don't want to see you level up. They don't want to see you make it to the top. They don't even want a lot of y'all to have dreams, goals, and ambitions. You ever told somebody some of your dreams, goals, and ambitions? You ever notice how some people just get so mad? Some people get so jealous? You got people to where they'll hate you. They'll get envious of you. Just because you want to make it out. Just because you want to go somewhere. Some of y'all, if you probably told somebody you want to be an entrepreneur and start your own business, you probably face jealousy in that. If y'all probably told some people you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lawyer, you probably even have people laugh at you. But that's the type of world we're in, yo. A lot of people, they don't want to see you make it to the top. They don't want to see you strive to do better and better and better. They don't want to see you succeed in life. They want to see you stuck at the bottoms. They want to see you stuck in the projects, in a bad neighborhood where robberies and killings are happening. They don't want to see you make it out. They don't want to see you become something in life. They don't want to see you make 6, 7, and 8 figures. They want to see you stuck poor, relying on the system to take care of you. A lot of people, they don't want to see you succeed, yo. And that be why so many people be getting set up by their friends and their family. Because a lot of people are jealous. Because they become jealous when you're leveling up in life. A lot of people, they have a crabs in a bucket mentality. You ever seen crabs in a bucket? You ever seen when one crab tries to get out the bucket, the other crabs try to pull them back down? Crabs in a bucket, crabs are a barrel mentality. That's what many people possess. Because a lot of people's mentality is, if I can't make it out, you can't make it out either. And that's sad. That's sad because we should be happy to see other people win. Because understand this, y'all. If you're happy to see other people win, that person that you're happy for, they might open up doors for you in the future. If everybody else in the neighborhood is hating that person who's successful, and you're respectful of that person, you treat that person with kindness, you're supportive of that person. When that person makes it out the ghetto, when that person makes it and be something in life, they might end up turning back around to help you. That's why jealousy does not win. That's why hating a person does not win, because you don't know if that person will come back and help you. That's why you also gotta be very careful who you underestimate in life. Because sometimes the people who are rejected the most, sometimes people who nobody thought would make it, are oftentimes the people who end up making it to the top. You know, sometimes God, he picks the people who people least expect. Look in the Bible, the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they were not expecting Jesus to come like that. They were expecting the Messiah to come first time around, coming from the sky in a white horse with all this gold and looking shiny and nice and all that, right? But when he was born in a small village, when Jesus was born and he didn't come with all these luxurious things, the Pharisees didn't even believe he was the Son of God. That's how it is, yo. A lot of people, they sometimes underestimate people. And that's very dangerous, because in this life that we're in, you don't know who people can be. A person can go from being 20,000 in debt to being a 6-figure person in 1 year. It happens, yo. But the truth is, even though it could happen, even for y'all who want to be successful, you gotta be careful with the people you hang around. You gotta be careful who you be friends with, because a lot of people nowadays, they don't have your best intentions. A lot of people, they got smiling faces. You see, their mouth is smiling, right? They're smiling. They act like they happy for you. But their eyes, a lot of times, tell a different story. Like I said, you gotta pay attention to a person's actions. If you got discernment, this is what I would say, you gotta have good discernment. Because if you got good discernment, you can easily tell if this is a person you should keep around, or if this is a person you should cut off. If you got good discernment that the Most High blessed you with. You can even ask God for good discernment. You got people to where they smile in your face. They'll smile, they'll show their teeth, right? But then their eyes, it's showing something else. It's real like that, y'all. A lot of people, unfortunately, a lot of people, they've been robbed, they've been set up, and unfortunately, a lot of people lost their lives. Because they wanted to be something in life, just because they wanted to make it out, just because they didn't want to stay stuck in their position. Understand this, y'all. Some people you just gotta leave behind. You can't take everybody with you. Because if you try to take everybody with you, you could put yourself in a bunch of problems. Because if somebody don't want to do nothing like this, it's going to rely on you to take care of them. And then that's just going to cause more issues and controversy in your life. Understand this, y'all. Always remember this. You as a person, you cannot have everybody around you, and you need to be careful who you're hanging with. Because a lot of times, the people you're hanging with, they don't always have your best interests. They don't want to see you always shine. They don't want to see you succeed. You got people who you hang with, right? As soon as you turn your back, they're giving you a jealous look. As soon as you turn your back, they envious of you. They like, man, who do he think he is? Who she thinks she is? They got all this money. They think they better than people. Mind you, you could be a humble person. People just will think that you better than them. That you think you all of that. Just because you want to be successful. Just because you want to be something in life. Understand this, y'all. You are not defined by people's standards. You are defined by God's standards. If the Most High God blessed you, if he put that business idea, if he put that idea on your heart, you need to bring it to forth. You need to bring it to pass. Because even the Bible says, faith without works is dead. Do not allow haters, do not allow people to stop you from being what God is calling you to be. Understand this, y'all. You don't have to subscribe to people's mentality. If you want to move to a nice community, if you want to have a nice house, a nice car, a nice job, you want to have a nice business, you're not doing nothing illegal. You're not doing nothing wrong. You can have it. You can do it. Do not let nobody underestimate you, because I know a lot of people, even I've had that happen to me a couple times. You tell someone your dreams and goals. You know, when I was growing up, I used to do that. But me, I keep a lot of stuff more secret nowadays, because I know how people are. How a lot of people are, I should say. If you know you got that dream, that goal, that ambition, just work on it. Strive to do it. And be careful you hang around, because a lot of people don't want to see you level up. They don't want to see you make it to the top. They don't want to see you be something great in life. They don't want to see you with money. They don't want to see you with a nice car. They don't want to see you in a happy marriage. Even a lot of family members. I'm not just talking about friends or people in your community. You got family members who don't even want to see you level up. I believe when I was in high school, I saw a story about a guy. He won the lottery or something in Georgia. It was some state, but I believe he ended up getting robbed for it by people in his community. And I've seen stories of people being set up by their own family members to get robbed just because they got some money. Just because they got something now they never had before. You got a lot of people like that, y'all. People don't want to see you shine. They don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you dressed nice. They don't want to see you stuck wearing old clothes, wearing clothes that's ripped, wearing clothes that's dirty, not having a haircut, not being able to take care of yourself. A lot of people, they want to see you like that. We live in a wicked world, y'all. Do not underestimate people's wickedness. We live in a world, y'all, to where a lot of people, they don't want to see you shine. They don't want to see you win. They want to see you stuck in the same situation. You know what's funny, yo? People be stuck in the same situation for 20, 30, and 40 years. They don't even make a choice to try to level up. It's not that they can't. It's just they don't want to make a choice to. They just want to stay stuck comfortable, stuck in their situation. And when they say you try to make it out, they all of a sudden got the nerve to be mad at you. But how you going to be mad at someone? That's your fault you chose not to level up. That's your fault that you chose not to be something in life. That's your fault that you chose to be stuck in the same position. That's not my fault. That's not their fault. That's not her fault. So that's all on you. Because as a grown adults, we all are responsible for our actions. It's not even your parents' fault. If you want to be something in life, you gotta work to it. Even the Bible says faith without works is dead. You want to be something great, you gotta work to it. Nobody, you gotta bring that vision to pass that God gave you. Well, understand this, yo. When it comes to leveling up, when it comes to being successful, a lot of people are crabs in a bucket. That's why you cannot have everybody around you. That's why you cannot be friends with everybody. Okay, you got people to where they're secret plotting on you. Be smart, yo. Be wise. Watch people's actions. Watch people's words. Because sometimes people reveal they jealous of you. You just gotta always watch people's words. Sometimes they will joke with you. But underneath those jokes, sometimes it's real jealousy. People might be like, I know you got that business now. I mean, do you really think that's going to be successful? And they'll laugh, try to play it off. But no. They try to downplay your idea. They try to make you feel small. They try to make you feel less than. They try to basically tell you to give up on your dream. Try to belittle you. For y'all who are successful, you got a nice house, a nice car. People are like, wow, you got that house. But if it was me, I would have probably bought something else. I don't need no 5-bedroom house. When half the time they don't even have a house themselves. You see, they jealous because you got a nice house with lots of rooms and space to yourself. You could be driving a nice car like a BMW or Mercedes. People be like, that car, Mercedes and BMW is nice, but they're not for me. They too this and they too that. I'd rather get something else. A lot of times people's jealousy showing. And half the time people be saying they don't even have that themselves. People be hating on you because you got a nice car. They don't even have a car themselves. But that's the world we live in. That's the world we live in. People, they'll try to criticize you because you want to be successful just because you're successful. When half the time they don't even have what you have. And yet they got the nerve to criticize you. But like I said, we live in a world where a lot of people, they have hidden intentions. They have bad agendas at hand. That's so you can't be friends with everybody. That's why you gotta be watch who you surround yourself with. Because a lot of people, they're a crabs their mentality. They have a crabs their bucket mentality. And if they see you try to rise up, they're gonna try to pull you right back down. That's you got people that's gonna try to get you to crash out. Try to get you to do something stupid. To try and jeopardize your future. To try to get you to fall. That's why you don't entertain everything. As you see somebody try to start a mess with you, sometimes the best thing to do is ignore it. Because remember, you sometimes got more to lose than that next person. But nevertheless, you guys, this video, give it a like, subscribe, share it, and have a blessed day.